When it comes to clutches, obviously replacing the entire pack or set is the best option and the safe way to go. However, since my family name is not Musk nor Bezos, and I'm not a big fan of throwing out good parts, here's what you need to know about clutch wear. Think of the clutch as a disc brake, but instead of a metal disc being squeezed between two brake pads, it's two discs squeezing a double-sided brake pad, an inverted engineer sandwich if you will. And what wears out first during normal operation? The friction material, of course. Generally, friction discs have these slots in them. If it's down to them, then it probably needs replacing. If there are no slots and it's down to the rivet, then it definitely needs replacing. Just like with brake pads, the manufacturer will specify what is the minimum thickness of the friction material. If you're measuring it, make sure it's worn out evenly and be sure to use a caliper because it's measured down to 1/10 of a millimeter. Also, on the friction disc, you have these dampening springs. Check if any of them are broken or missing. This can cause vibrations when operating the clutch. If just the friction material is worn and the springs are good, you can get new friction material riveted. This is what I usually do. I've done it many times and I've never had any problems. If any of the springs are broken or missing or there's some other kind of problem, you can just buy a brand new friction disc. They're usually sold separately. Next on the list is the pressure plate. The first thing you should check is for cracks and discoloration on the working surface. If none are found, you can check if it's warped. Just take a straight piece of metal, put it on top, and see if there is a difference between the outer and the inner diameter. If there's a gap more than 1 millimeter, then it's bad and it needs to go. The last thing you need to check is the diaphragm. Sometimes a bad throwout bearing can damage it and cause problems there, even break some of the flaps. The pressure plate is usually not sold separately, so if you have problems with it, you probably need to buy an entire clutch pack. Speaking of throwout bearings, it's a simple bearing. If there's any noise or play in it, just change it. They're typically sold separately. And lastly, flywheels. The one you're seeing is solid or single mass. If there are no cracks or no discoloration on the working surface, then it's good to go. Newer cars, especially diesels, have dual mass vibration dampening flywheels. This is a topic for a whole other video. My advice is just look up for your car specifically what needs to be checked and how to test it. And lastly, while you have the transmission out and the clutch down, it's a good idea to check the rear main seal for oil leaks and check if your car has a pilot bearing in the crankshaft. Those are cheap and easy to replace and good preventative maintenance as a whole. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, drop a like below, ask me something in the comments, and consider subscribing. See you next time. Bye.